Hi, and welcome to the Digital Freedom Coach podcast with me, Eric Olson. Here, we go in depth and talk about how you can use digital tools to create more freedom in your life. Are you, as me, curious about how you can work remotely, how you can build a business online, and what it actually takes to create the life of your dreams? Then this is the podcast for you. For more info on what we do, check out thedigitalfreedomcoach.com. And I found myself doing all of these different sort of exercises. I was using a vision board. I put down my SMART goals. I had sort of an intellectual exercise in what do I want to achieve in life, where do I want to go, who do I want to become, who do I want to be, what do I want to achieve, what do I want to experience, how will my business look like, how much do I want to earn each single month. I put it all down and I had a vision board. I think I had 4 different vision boards and I made them online. I found the images and I found that car and I found that kind of adventure photo of some guy doing like a stand-up paddling board, in the close to Antarctica or something, very, very exotic. I had images of, dollars and euros bills, right? So kind of imagining, okay, that's my cash flow, that's the future I want to be wealthy, like Eric, the wealthy person. And I had a photo of a house as well. I can't remember the exact house, but it was kind of nice and maybe actually I can't remember exactly. I think maybe it was like in the city. I'm kind of a city person, and of course of mountains. So I put all of these photos, I downloaded them and I had them in these kind of A4 format papers, and I put them at my bed, in the roof, in the ceiling, so every time I woke up I saw them, and every time I went to bed I saw them. It was like the first thing I saw in the morning and it was the last thing I saw in the evening before going to sleep. And I had these vision boards in that ceiling for maybe 2 years. I think it was a long time, And during that time, during that period, I also did the SMART goals. The SMART goals, like, okay, so is it like specific? Is it measurable? Like I want that house. Is it measurable? Okay, how much do you have to make each month in order to achieve the house? Is it kind of accepted? Like, is it a good goal? Is it realistic? And what's the time here? It's like within, is it a crazy goal like within 6 months, or is it like a 10-year goal? So that's kind of the SMART framework, and with the vision board and all. And I put all of these things into my calendar. And I had my DMOs, daily method of operation. What should I do every single day in order to achieve the goal? Bam, ba, bam, ba, bam, ba, bam. Like, what should I do every single day in order to achieve the goal? And I did it, and I went at it, and I put in the effort and invested the time. So today I want to talk about, do you feel your future? My dear listener, you're following the podcast. I'm sure you have dreams and goals and things you want to achieve. Do you feel that future? Because you see, I didn't. Maybe I did to some extent, but more often than not, I didn't. All of these kind of vision boards and everything kind of ended up being one thing. Something I checked off my list before starting my work or before going to sleep. Okay, so I have a checklist, like things I have to do. Bam, 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 bam. Check boxes. Check, 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 check. Vision board, I had taken a look at it. Check. SMART goals. Okay, I had taken a look at it. Check. So maybe my dear listener, maybe it's different for other people. Maybe I'm kind of I stand out from the crowd here or something, because I know, like, with the teams I work with and with lots of the kind of mentors I follow as well, they have these goals, like, okay, we know, within in a month, or within 3 months, or within 1 year, this is the goal, this is what we will aim for, and this is how many kind of points or credits or whatever you need to achieve in order to attain the goal. And I've been working with those systems, but for some reason it never 99% of the times it never works for me. It's just to some extent it's a waste of time and energy, because I don't feel those goals. I remember when I begun in the business I'm in today, leverage sales is kind of a big part of it, and they had kind of this bonus trips, okay, so achieve a certain goal or rank, and then we will invite you to this magic trip to Indonesia or something. Okay, that's awesome. Like, intellectually that's super cool, okay, but I was thinking to myself, okay, what's the point? Like, Indonesia, I can go to Indonesia tomorrow. I've been to Indonesia, I've been to Bali, I've been to Mexico, I've been traveling. That doesn't entice me. You see, I don't feel anything. It's kind of, okay, let's go to Stockholm or something. I don't feel those goals. So I had lots of trouble imagining that I would work a lot to achieve that goal, because I wasn't feeling that goal. And today I realize, or the insight I got just the last year, is it's all about emotions. You see my listener, my fellow listener, Joe or Stephanie or Julia, do you feel your goals? Do you have an emotion behind that goal? Seriously, like, do you feel the goal? Okay, you want to achieve something, okay, but do you feel it? I think for like 95% of the population, maybe 99%, we set up these goals, we have this intellectual exercise. Maybe it's a New Year's resolution, and we start, and then we don't feel it anymore. We don't feel it. Like, what's the point going to the gym day in and day out, and if you don't feel it, we quit. Okay, we quit. That's it. What's the point? If we want to build a business, we want to get into, get a better health or improve our relationship, whatever, if you don't feel it, it's an intellectual exercise, and we stop doing it. And this is the missing piece I realized I missed. So just, the last maybe month, I read this book, Supernatural, or Becoming Supernatural, with Dr. Joe Dispenza, and it's a book I can highly recommend. Okay, so I highly recommend Dr. Joe Dispenza, Becoming Supernatural. And in this book, he talks about feeling your goals, about putting in the emotion into those goals. So this is my interpretation, okay? So my interpretation is that we set up these goals, and it's like reading a non-fiction book. They tend to become quite boring after a while. It's like, okay, so it's like putting up a bookshelf bought from IKEA, and you have a manual. Sometimes, like, in all honesty, your goals, and to take a look at your vision board and all, it can be like putting together a bookshelf from IKEA. IKEA being Swedish, and also maybe that's a good comparison. So it's just something you do, Julia or Robert. It's just something you do, and you don't have an emotion behind it. So the thing is, Dr. Joe Dispenza then talks a lot about putting the emotion into your goals. Okay, so what can you do? Basically, if you want to achieve and live a certain lifestyle, you have, and I repeat this, you have to feel how it would be to live that lifestyle today. You want a certain car, you have to feel how it would be to have that car today. You want to have a certain relationship, you have to feel how it would be to have that relationship today. Yeah, like your emotions are your kind of your compass. Your emotions are what takes you forward on your path to achieve your goals. You have to put your emotion behind it. If you don't have an emotion, it's like a drained battery. It's like trying to use your phone and the battery is half dead, right? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So if you want to have a certain future, you have to live in that future today. You know, like, forget about the past, and in a sense, forget about your future, right? Because often we live in the past, in the present, or in the future. Like, we live in the past and we have all these anxieties and worries, and we're afraid for, you know, so many things. We have bills to pay, we have knee pain, whatever. Like, all of these things are kind of breadcrumbs from things we have done in the past. Those are like results from things we have done in the past. So forget about the past, but don't kind of live in the future in the sense of you're imagining a certain future. Take those emotions and put it into the present moment. Don't live in the future in the sense of I want to achieve this lifestyle where I'm, you know, financially free and a digital nomad and bam, 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 you know, all of these things. And then I'm just working like super hard to achieve those goals, forgetting about living in the present moment. You get the difference? My fellow listener, I imagine, I think you can relate. Like, I can super relate. Well, I'm sharing it, but I think you can relate as well. Like, either you live in the past and you have all anxieties and worries, or you live in the future and you kind of tensed in order, you know, to prepare for something that hasn't happened yet, right? So you're challenging yourself all the time rather than living in the present. So what can you do in the present? Of course, if you want to achieve a certain result, take the emotions you think you will have and put them in the present moment. You see how that works? Then it becomes real. Then you can relate. Then honestly, then you know what you're aiming for, right? You have, if you don't do this, my dear listener, then what are you working for? What's the point? If you work in order to become like financially free, maybe you want a Tesla, but you have no idea how it is to ride and drive a Tesla, you don't even know what you're working for. Right? If you want to climb Mount Everest in the future, and you have no, like, it's just an idea, right? It's just an abstract idea, and you're not out there climbing smaller mountains, how will you ever know how it would be to climb Mount Everest? It's impossible, right? If you want to be like this business owner, and you want like independence, and you want a good cash flow, how would you ever know how that would be unless you're actually working your business and appreciating the results you actually attain and achieve? You see how that is connected, like how that is actually related? So what I did, and I can do this more often, of course, but a while back, and I did go to the Tesla car dealership. So what I want to achieve, what I want to feel is, okay, I want a certain lifestyle, okay? It's like the digital freedom coach, freedompreneurs. I want freedom. I want to be able to live anywhere in the world and like bring my job with me, just using like a smartphone and a laptop and Wi-Fi, okay? That's it. That's everything I want. Like sort of a minimalistic lifestyle, and you know, just being able to have a business that is thriving using these tools. And then we can add other things, you know, into this idea of my future self, of course, you know, relationships and everything. But this is kind of the core with my business. This is what will allow me to be set free. I love freedom. I want more freedom. So in that kind of idea I have, I also want to be able to have maybe a Tesla. Because I want the feeling of being able to afford a Tesla. So what I did was, I went to the Tesla car dealership here in Gothenburg, Sweden. And I booked a test drive with a Tesla. And after a week or so, I came back and they gave me but they don't give you keys. They give you like, you have some sort of card, I think. And you kind of, here's your Tesla. And I went into this kind of, where you park your car in one of these huge kind of houses, right? And I went in there and they gave me the Tesla and I took it for a test drive for about half an hour. I remember I was in the Tesla, right? The kind of, oh my God, is this kind of real? I never driven a Tesla before. It's so peculiar, right? But I'm feeling it. I feel the drive, pushing down the gas pedal a bit, and I can feel like the engine soaring, right? Like no sound, but I can feel the power in the car. And I went for a test drive, and I was so super nervous for, maybe something will happen. I will like hit another car or something. I mean, I'm a good driver, but having like a Tesla and it's worth, I don't know, a lot. But it gave me the feeling of riding a Tesla, like the feeling of how does it feel to actually do it. And then I came back to the parking house and I gave them the Tesla back. And then I think I was on a high for maybe a week or so, because I felt it. Now, every time I took a look at my vision board and I saw a Tesla, I can relate. I have the emotion in how it is to ride my Tesla. And now, just last week, I thought, okay, maybe it's not a Tesla kind of one. Maybe it's a Land Rover. I kind of like the feeling, the idea of the adventure behind the Land Rover brand. Okay, so I went to car dealership for Land Rover and Jaguar in Gothenburg, right? So in this industrial area, and I went there and I kind of walked around and I felt like awkward and peculiar. Like I don't know anything about cars. I don't know anything about cars. So if you, my dear listener, you know lots about cars, please, ping me or tag me or something. I would love to chat. Maybe you can give me some insight. I don't know anything. I just know, okay, a Tesla is a cool car. Land Rover, I like adventure. Let's check it out. So I walk into this car dealership and kind of walking around peculiar, because I'm never at these kind of car dealerships usually. And, it's kind of a mental challenge in a sense. And you have these luxury cars, like beautiful cars. And I sit in every single car. And then the car salesperson approaches me and, can I help you with something? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm just kind of curious, a bit about the cost and how do you start kind of finding your own car? Like, how should you think? And she gave me some insights and then I left, right? So it's kind of, I stayed maybe half an hour. The point being, I think I strongly encourage this, like my dear listener, I strongly encourage this. If you want to achieve something, you have to approach it and you have to take a closer look at it. You have to feel it. You have to feel that Land Rover. You have to feel your Tesla. There is simply no other way. And then when you put up the vision board and everything, you know how it feels like. And if you know how it feels like, you will recharge your battery and it will be easier to achieve that goal. If I just have my Land Rover on a photo in my vision board, and it will just become more of an abstract exercise, that intellectual exercise. So what I want you to do, my dear listener, listening to the Digital Freedom Coach, aiming for freedom, I believe in you, by the way. I super believe in you. If that's even a word, super believe in someone. But I do. I see the full potential in you. I know you have potential. So I want you to, again, okay, like, paper and pen, make a list. Maybe you have a vision board, you have SMART goals. Okay, write those down again, or just put the vision board in front of you, put your SMART goals in front of you, and ask yourself, how can I put emotions behind these goals? How can I put emotions behind, achieving a certain income or a rank maybe, or a car or a house or a certain sort of a relation? How can I put emotion into it? If it's a car, okay, that's an easy thing to do. Go to a car dealership. Go for a test drive. If it's a house, okay, what sort of houses are out on the market at this stage? Go and visit, see what's going on, right? Go and visit that open house to take a look at it from the inside and out. Feel it. And it's a wonderful feeling, to actually do this, and it becomes real. And then you take your future self, the dream you desire, and you put it in the present. And then you can see how the gap between your future and what's going on at this stage is closing, right? It's closing. And finally, I just want to share that I got this, I think I got this important insight, also partly from Dr. Joe Dispenza, but also from one of my mentors and coaches, Frederick, living in Spain. And I went with him to car dealership, a while ago, maybe about a half year ago. And he went on a ride and I was in the back seat, and I was just watching him kind of feeling his own dream. And now I do the same. So I want you to do that. Hope you got some insights in this episode, and I hope you got value, of course. If you got value, feel free to share that as well. Have a powerful day. Be bold, be courageous, build your passion, believe in your dream. You can do it. I see the potential in you. I know you have the potential. Have a powerful day. Talk soon. Bye.